All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, B'Rakakwadash. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, King of kings, Lord of lords, and God of gods. There is no other gods besides him. Much love to the beautiful Yahweh Shai, the one who died for Israel and covered his blood upon them. And poured his blood upon them to cover and protect them, the elect children of Israel, and only Israel, the only nation granted for salvation. Much love to the beautiful chosen children of Israel. Much love to the beautiful Akim, the brothers that's in the word, the new covenant brothers that's doing everything in their power to give us line upon line, precept upon precept, teaching us the secrets of the Bible and the laws and the stories and the history that come with it, doing everything in their power to show Yahweh Shem Yahushua that they love him and they fear him. Much love to you, brother. Shout out to the Akwaf, the beautiful women that's in the word, and whether you got a man or not, you still fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. You listen and learn in silence to the best of your abilities. Coming back at you with another video through the power and spirit of Yahweh by Shem Shai. It's more like a redo because I did one for Thursday, but I accidentally erased it and the download was tripping or whatever. So I had to redo this one. Today's title is The World Today as in the Days of Noah. As in the days of Noah. So, you got a lot of stuff going on. Like it says in the Bible, it says, as in the days of Noah, so too will be coming of the Son of Man. So we're going to get that real quick. Because it's a lot of things that's going on. And as in the days of Noah, it was the same thing that was going on. And it was a lot of idol worship, a lot of sodomy, a lot of tyranny, fight over power. Most importantly, the number one thing is that everybody had forgotten Yahweh. They decided to start worshiping other things with the false idol thing, and everybody stopped praying to Yahweh. Everybody forgot about the Lord. So that was like a lot of the main things that was happening pre-flood, and the world was a lot like this. According to the legend, we had technology, we had the buildings, only we had cars and all that. It was technology. That's the rumor. Pre-flood, I do believe, yeah, that is the rumor. That's the rumor that we had some of this technology or something similar to our technology today. As far as I'm concerned, with the legend is no different than now. So we can get that as in the days of Noah, King James Version. So we in Matthew chapter 1, chapter 24, verse 1. It says, and Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto him, see ye not all these things? Very well, I say unto you, there shall not be one left one left here, one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, it says, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So when he was talking about the stones and all that, he was talking about now, today. In our modern time, it's no different than it was back in the times of Rome, but the technology was a little bit more prehistoric, but it's no different. And actually is low key the same, because Rome is on its second leg, which we at the end of that, the revival of Rome. That's the deadly wound on the dragon, which was healed. This is the second revival of the Roman Empire, but it's crumbling. So this is what he was talking about. He was talking about the future. So it says, and he, as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" Straight up, straight up. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, "Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many." That's right. You got a lot of these false idols, man. A lot of these false idols. One dude named Igbo that kept telling the Christian groups, the Christian party, that Jesus was coming back on he had a dream that Jesus was going to send no, that the Yahweh was going to send a second flood, and he built arks, but he turned around and took some of that money and bought him a brand new advanced car. He probably had more. He probably had a bomb house. You know, he probably had good, nice clothing, but he posed to be as a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So he had millions of these Hamites come to this, I think it was this trench in the forest or whatever, thousands of these people. And they desired to leave the earth and or get inside of those arks to leave the earth. Or I think it was one to where he said that the Lord was going to take him or whatever. But, you know, he was prophesying falsely to make money, and they have found out, and he was getting charges pressed on him, and those people got mad and burnt the arks that he built, and he pulled up in an advanced car, man, like one, I think it was a Bentley or something like that. And he was and he hopped out with his rags on and all that, talking about the Lord sent me another dream that changed the date on when all those things were supposed to happen. So he had thousands of people sitting in the forest or whatever, and nothing happened. And when they realized that he lied, they got angry. They got real angry, and he got into trouble for it. But at the same time, at the end of the day, he's not the only one. It's a lot of them. It was one story about one false prophet that said that he was going to reenact the 3 days, I do believe, that Yahushua passed after his passion, and they buried him in a coffin. Come to find out, what he didn't realize is that the coffin was sealed airtight. So when they dug up his coffin, he actually passed away inside the coffin, because he didn't realize that the coffin was airtight shut, and he suffocated. So on the third day when they came back, he was dead. So it's a lot of these false preachers and false pastors and false prophets that say that they the Messiah. Or it was one. There was one of my favorites. This crazy guy named Elio Bishop, I do believe, and they call him Nature Boy. And he had a following of people, and it also shows you the stupidity of people and how people can just believe anything, especially he was a part of that wave to where he was selling spirituality, and making money off spirituality, and making swaying the minds of the people, because the people will believe anything. So he had a group of following people that got together. He started teaching them his ways, which was outrageously crazy. And next thing you know, they started worshiping him as God, and they started worshiping him and calling him three God. Um, actually, that term is actually satanic, but this is what they was calling him, three God, or whatever, 333. And he was doing anything that he ever wanted to him. He was treating the men that they were inferior. The white boys that was a part of his group. He was treating them like they was low on the earth. That they were worthless. Just abusing. The way he was doing it, it was just wicked. And doing it with all the women, and the women supposed to be married to different men, and then he would take the women from the men, and then he would keep them. One day he just decided to take all the women and keep them all for himself, and he said he God, so he could do whatever he wants. He's the Messiah. He could do whatever he wants, so the men had tolerated it. And it also shows you how underdeveloped their minds was. Their minds was so underdeveloped, and they was grown men, and their minds were like the mind of children, and it came to the point to where it was just it was just pimping at this point. I'm gonna be honest, it was pimping. He was just a pimp, and he was doing whatever he wanted to him. It got to the point to where it got so outrageous to where he had SA'd a woman, and they called it what did they call it? Porn revenge or whatever, and it was other things that was going on, assaults, all kinds of attacks, and him flipping out, slapping people, and he could have got away with it all if it wasn't on recorded. Everything was recorded on videotape. Everything was recorded. So when they have found that out, no. So when these people have found out, they believed it as some sort of cult, and in a weird way, it was some sort of cult. But it's hard to call it a cult when these people are doing it on their free will. So um, what's that man named Charles Manson is another false prophet, but it's crazy. What I was gonna say, yeah. So when they found out, they gave him life, and he ended up doing jail time, and he's trying to fight his way out after what he done all did, and all of the evil stuff and the wicked stuff that he did, and him posing to be the Messiah and God. The Lord, Yahweh heard that and was like, you know what? Let's put him in jail, give him life, give him life. That was it. So as many of these false preachers, these false messiahs, and it shows you just how feeble the mind is, how underdeveloped the mind is in a lot of people. A lot of people are very underdeveloped, especially our people, like Yahweh say, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. They got the mind of a child, and they could be a grown man with a beard. They could be muscular and all that, and they belief system is so destroyed. Their mind is underdeveloped to the point to where they believe anything due to parents not being parents. They're not teaching them everything. Them going to school, learning certain things and certain subjects that they like. They get into that, and that's all that they know. That department of knowledge is all that they know. And it really come down to just parenting, and parents not being so hard on their children. And when it get past the point of parenting, it can be on how the person actually is. Because at some point, you can't blame your parents forever for the way you are when you are self-aware and you can have these choices to choose to change or not. So it's a lot, but it's a lot of false pastors out there. It's a lot of false preachers out there. A lot of false antichrist out there posing to be Yahweh, and they not. It says, posing to be Yahweh Shai, and they not. And Yahweh, they pose to be him too. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. A lot of people get deceived by this. A lot of people are being deceived by this. Well, one of the main ones, the Jesus Christ one, which represents white supremacy, and it's a lot of our people still following that. They don't want to leave it, despite all that they've heard. They accept it. This is just the way their life is, and this is what they believe in. They don't care. It's to the point to where they know the truth is out there. They just don't want to believe it. And that's what's going to be their undoing. So it says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that not ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. That's what's happening right now. It's a lot of wars going on. It's the rumors of World War III that's on the horizon. If not, it's already happening. Most likely it's already happening. And these things have to happen in order for the end to come. So it says, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. It says they shall deliver it. It says, and all these are all these are the beginning of sorrows. So let me get that picture that I just uploaded. Don't ignore all this. It's my little video games and stuff. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. That's right. Because when these prophecies get extreme, these dark prophecies, I keep telling you about these dark prophecies that's supposed to be happening, like the great plagues that's coming across the earth, or the World War III, the Red Dawn event. Where is that at? I think I got it right there. The Red Dawn event, to where you could be asleep one day, you can be sleeping, waking up and having a normal morning, and the next thing you know is paratroopers jumping out of gunships and planes and landing down and just automatically just attacking people because the nation is at war with another nation, quote unquote. Fake wars, real people. I'm gonna keep saying that. Fake wars, real people. It's in a joint effort to eliminate the children of Israel. That's true, the true chosen children of Israel. And it's a part of their scheme to depopulate. So, but mainly to destroy the children of Israel, to find the elect, to destroy them, and to go to war with Israel. So all these nations is gearing up to jump the true children of Israel in order to try and keep them out of power. But they set it up to where America's going to start all this mess. And the elites, when it's time, when it really set off, the elites is going to go underground and disappear. And the government going to disappear. And they're going to leave everybody else to pretty much, fight for themselves, fend for themselves. And they gonna pass. They going to die. A lot of these people are going to die. And this is the Red Dawn event. And if you've seen the movie, then you know the Red Dawn. And then they got a Red Dawn remastered, to where they just showing you just how real it's gonna get. And this is all going to happen. One day you could be going to sleep with your wife, and next thing you waking up and there's troopers shooting down, kicking down your doors, shooting up your house, shooting you up, taking your kids, offing your kids. Is that bad? A lot of people doubt how the nature of how war is gonna be. And like Yahweh said, I will not cover the world in water, I'll cover the world in fire. So that nuclear day is going to sprout out too. We can go back to that right there. That's perfect right there. And when these people realize just how bad these times are getting, and just these dark prophecies that's coming true, like the collapse, you know, like the civil wars, the race wars that's gonna be popping off, the grid down scenario. A lot of people gonna get mad, and they gonna get mad at the prophets. They gonna get mad at the people who knew about all this, and they gonna want to kill them. They gonna want to hunt them down, in hopes that it will stop this from happening, or they will be seeking help from these prophets, and the prophets reject them. That's what's gonna happen. There's a lot of believers. They're not going to tell you what's going on. They're not gonna have time for it, and nobody cared when these prophets was making time and telling them about these things that were going to happen. Nobody cared. So why should you care now? It says, they and then many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. And that's because in the end times, people is going to be looking for salvation in the wrong places. They're going to want to seek salvation more than ever. And it's going to be a lot of people that's like, oh, I know the way, and God showed me this, and God showed me that. And the Lord will be over here, and the Lord will be over there. We all got to group together and wait for the Lord to come this way, that way. Come over here. I know the way. I know the hiding place. Down here, up here. It's going to be real bad. And these people are going to be desperate for salvation. And these people are going to want to evade all of this disaster. So they're going to believe anybody that say that they know where Yahweh is. They know when Jesus Christ is coming. So we need to all group together and stay together. And that's what's going to get them off. It's going to get to the point to where you can't even be with crowds of people during the end time. You can't. Especially, that's why I hope that I'm one of the elect. well, I'm just gonna claim it. I am one of the elect. And when these times happen, I don't want to be with these groups of people that didn't believe. I don't want to be with nobody that didn't care about what I had to say. They just went on living their life, and I happened to give them this news, and it was just another day for them. They didn't. They forgot all about it. And then, and it's crazy because you're seeing it all over the news right now. You're seeing it all over. You see what's going on in Minnesota. Pretty soon, it's going to be everywhere across the United States. You see the civil wars popping off. You see the race wars going down. All of that is happening now, and people still going on about their life like, nothing is gonna happen, and I hope we avoid this. And or somebody was like, oh, if we don't get Trump out of office, or if they decide to go to war or whatever, and this stuff go down, we'll have to wait for a change for another 50 years or whatever, because they think that things, if nothing don't happen, it's gonna stay the way it is. No, it's not. It says, but he that it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right? Nobody's gonna care since there's no law, since there's no cops coming to stop you, since it's no ambulance, since it's no more care. They know the money is gone. They know the food is running out. People is gonna do anything to stay alive. They're gonna be killing. You're gonna be seeing a lot of people passing in the streets. You're gonna be seeing a lot of blood. You're gonna be seeing people wanting and asking for help. You know, people getting beat up, people getting attacked, people jacking cars, people running around with TVs. Like, bro, what is a TV gonna do if the grid is down? What good is it? What good is a TV gonna profit you? Running around with giant flat screens in their hands, taking everything, breaking into stuff, taking on materialism, things that really don't have no use. So it's like it's gonna be a lot of that. People is not gonna care, bro. It says, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. That's the chosen. You keep believing that you're gonna be saved and you're gonna get saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all the nations, and then the end shall come. It says, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in a holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. That's right. So that already happened. There is they talk. I do believe he talking about the people who claim to be Israelites but are the synagogue of Satan, and they in that holy ground, which is Israel. So it says, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. It says, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Right? When it's time to go, don't look back. Whether you're leaving behind certain items, whether you're leaving behind friends, you're leaving behind family, you're leaving behind your wife, you believe in having your kid, you better you better not look back. That's how bad it's gonna be. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Because when the war pop off, and all these things start happening, and it's all simultaneously is everywhere, and events like this is taking place, that right there is taking place, then these women they got all these kids following them. They got all these kids trying to survive. You know, they're trying to take care of all these babies. They're looking for men to help. They're looking for somebody to help them, and nobody's gonna care. They're gonna be trying to fight these enemies off. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly, man. You know, imagine you running and you got like 4 or 5 kids. This lady got like 4 or 5 kids and a baby in her hand. She can barely run. The bullets is just coming and the explosion just hitting her so hard. She snap into survival mode, drop her baby, and run and leave her kids behind. Leave her kid, drop the baby, run, leave her kids behind. You gotta understand something. Ain't no telling what you're gonna do when you're in that position. Certain people kick into survival mode and they real they real selves come to the surface. Some people that never killed before is gonna snap and kill somebody under this extreme pressure. Some people is gonna betray other people just so they can survive and eat food. Some people is gonna run off and be a part of groups, and get these groups of people in trouble and join other groups because one of the group that they with can't survive, get them all killed. You got people like that. You got people that's gonna curl up into a ball. They can't do nothing. They so afraid. They can't move. They can't think. They can't breathe because the pressure is real. It's gonna be you gonna be surprised what's gonna happen to a lot of these people. A lot of these people, you're gonna see their true nature. Right, men rolling with women, and women trying to hide under the men. Next thing you know, the men cast the females off because they starting to realize that they can't carry them. It's gonna be bad, man. Old people, old people don't know what to do. People in wheelchairs, people that can barely walk, old people that can't run. It's gonna be terrible. They just cannon fodder. Then you got the fat people. Oh my goodness, we living in times where you got to be in shape. You got to be somewhat at least fit to run. You got to be somewhat at least fit to jump, to be able to keep up, to keep your endurance, to travel. Because if you can't do any of these things, your chances for survival are extremely slim to none. It's that bad, man. Especially for the people that's going to survive that are not the elect. You're not the chosen. You're not among the elect. You're going to be surviving. Hardcore survival. Some people that ain't chosen going to have to live by survival skills. And that's all of that is, come to realize you ain't got no faith in Yahweh. All of that is not going to get you far. You're not going to get anywhere with none of that. The real protection is Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, and the blood of the new covenant. That's it. Everything else is gonna get washed away. It really is. You're not gonna be able to survive that long. Either you're gonna run into starvation, you're gonna get caught with some sort of disease or some sort of plague they might set off, or the sword gonna catch you. And that's you fighting off these hunters, these soldiers, and they shooting off whatever militia group or whatever rebellion group that you're with, and you trying to fight these soldiers off from other regions and from foreign countries, and they got all type of weapons waiting on you. They got all type of guns. They got all type of devices. They got all type of technology that they're going to use in this war. They're going to bring everything that they've got. And like Yahweh said, those who live by the sword die by the sword. So the guns ain't the answer. You got to really rely on Yahweh. You got to rely on your faith to get you out of this. And best believe, even if you had a faith as a mustard seed, you would tell this mountain to move and it would be moved. It's not that hard. You just got to be able to clean yourself up and change your ways to the best you can. But when you get into the new covenant, you'll be protected. You ain't got to worry about all these different disasters and these demonic things that's about to happen. And we so close to it happening, it's right there. We watching it on TV. It's all up on the reels. It's all up on different platforms. Everybody is talking about it. People is in a panic. You got people that is literally leaving the United States, going overseas to escape it because they know that America ain't got too much long to go. These nations, they got their guns pointed over here. They're talking about coming down here if Donald Trump attacked Greenland. They're talking about letting their soldiers off. The Red Dawn event coming quickly. You got people that's watching this and they got the money, so they leaving. They going overseas, thinking that they're going to escape what's to come. It's getting bad. So it says, woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, because these days is going to be terrible for children. It's going to be terrible for females. It's gonna be terrible. You ain't gonna be able to take care of your babies. You're not gonna be able to feed your kids in these events. The Lord is about to sweep all this out. You know, females that be having their babies for money. Tax season right now, so female can have like 3, 4, 5 kids, and she get like 12 to 15,000 back. Go and spend it on whatever she want. Go and party. Go and turn up like a big kid. And when these wars come, what you gonna sacrifice in order to survive? You gonna sacrifice yourself for your kids to live, and then later on they gonna catch a bullet or be eaten by something or be attacked or be killed by a bunch of random people, because without you them kids not gonna make it long, and with you they're not gonna make it at all. You gotta understand it's gonna be survival of the fittest. It sounds rude to say something like that. It sounds bad, but you gotta meet reality where it is. This is reality, bro. And soon, this warfare and all this Call of Duty madness that's happening, this is going to be our reality. You got to understand that. It says, but pray that your flight be not in the winter or neither on the Sabbath day. Because the new moon, you can only imagine, he's talking about the new moon. So the new moon is the moon where it doesn't show, because we realize that the Sabbath day, the holy days, some of them run on moon cycles. Sabbath day is on a moon cycle. So when the moon is not out at night, that's bad, because it can happen to where it's a grid down scenario or an EMP event that knock out all the electricity throughout the United States, and it's at night. It's at night, and there's no moon, so you can't see anything that's going on in the dark, and the darkness just spread out. It's just out, like in the plagues of Egypt. Darkness was one of the plagues, and it says, "Pray your fight be not in the winter." Oh my goodness! And you seeing all these wars, you seeing all this stuff going down in the cold, and it's stinging cold out there, and you got to run for your life with you and your kids or your family. You got to go run and go hide. You gotta shoot back, and it's cold as hell. You ain't got time for that. It's total discomfort, and that's for the children of Israel, because it's the stuff that you got to go through. Like I said, neither on the Sabbath day, because it ain't no sun, it ain't no moon on the Sabbath day. You ain't gonna be able to see where you're going at night without the power. You people forget how powerful darkness is. Darkness is powerful. Darkness is powerful. It's like a black fog. Very thick, very, man, you can't drive through that. Your flashlight can only flash so far in the darkness. And ain't no telling what's running around in the darkness. Talking about demonic super soldiers, you talking about evil spirits, demons. You talking about thieves, robbers, home invaders, people break into your house. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that going down. People breaking into your house, taking all your possessions. They catch you there, they shooting you up. It's gonna be it's gonna be a purge event. It's gonna be madness. It's gonna be bad. Like I said, prayer don't happen on the day where the moon is not out. So it says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall it ever be. Except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." That's why everything is going a lot faster. Because Yahweh know that he got to get the chosen, he got to get us chosen ones out of here. It says, "Then if any man shall say to you, Lo, there is Christ, or there, believe it not." Right, because a lot of people is going to be looking for salvation. They're going to be looking for an escape, especially when they get denied by Yahweh. They're going to be looking for salvation. They're going to be looking for salvation elsewhere too. Anywhere to be saved, anywhere to um to not to escape these calamities. Anything. It says, "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show you great signs and wonders." And it's so much that if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. That is true. Because they're gonna have that what's that, Project Bluebeam. And then they're gonna have these fake prophets that's, like I said, fake prophets, fake Christ, fake messiahs that's trying to show you the way, and they're leading you to your death. And it's already being set up now. It's already all set up. Like I said in my last video, not knowing that the people that they worship and these false pastors that they believe that they are the Messiah, that they no they pastors and they shepherds that's leading the sheep, come to find out they have become their messiahs. They have become they gods, whatever they've been worshiping him. So he's that. Yahweh ain't about to come save y'all. Y'all idol worshippers, idolaters. Y'all into all this kind of demonic stuff, and the Lord ain't gonna want y'all. So I'm trying to tell you the stuff they're gonna do to these pastors and these false preachers and these fake prophets. The stuff that they gonna do to them when they find out that there ain't no salvation for them, that this shepherd led them to damnation. They gonna flip out, man. What are you talking about? It says behold, I have told you before. It says, wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. He's telling you before it happens. This is what's going to happen to all the people that are blind, to all the people that don't have no knowledge. All of our people, this is what's going to happen to them. This is how they're going to get them. It says, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Believe it not. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west. Meaning that the Lord is going to come down from Mount Sinai, and he's going to make his way to America. It makes sense. It says, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. It says, wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. It says, in the carcass, I do believe it got something to do with Israel, and these eagles are the nations. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened. We're gonna go to that nuclear event. That nuclear event. Hold on, again. Go all the way down. There you go. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, because they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with glory and with great power. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together the elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. That's right, because it's a lot of us that believe in Yahweh. We know the true name, we know the power, we in the covenant, the new covenant, and we're waiting to be saved at this point. And when he does save us, we're going to be scattered around the world. It says, now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and he putteth forth leaves, you know that the summer is nigh. It says, so likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. It's a lot of people that's not going to die until these events happen. It's a lot of them. You got old people that's still here, 50, 60 years old. You got 80-year-old people that's still here that ain't dead yet. It's because it's a lot of them that's going to see all this stuff happening, and they're not going to die until all this stuff happens. So it says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. That is true. It says, but of the day and the hour, it says, knoweth no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. We don't know. It says, but as in the days of Noah, so shall also the coming of Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, we can go to that picture. It says, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving into marriage until the day Noah entered the ark, it says, and knew it not until the flood came and took them all away. So also the coming of the Son of Man be. It says, then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye not know the hour your Lord do come. That is true. Stay always prepared. Yahweh can come. Yahweh Shai can come today. He can come today to come to the world, come down on the off them chariots and come and walk the earth. We don't know that. We just need to be prepared for these events. We measure the times diligently and be prepared because we know that it's nearby, but we don't know when it's going to happen. So it's chronological order. That's what it is. None of this is in order. It has a chronological order to it. So it says, but know this, that if the good man of the house had known in which and what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and he would have not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be you also ready, for in such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh. That's right. Stay prepared, stay in the faith, be smart, be in your Bibles, get this word while it's there. Seek Yahweh while he may be found. It says, who then it says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord have made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. It says, blessed is that servant. It says, whom is when Yahweh, when his Lord, when he is coming, shall find so doing. That's right. You're out there trying to tell people what's going on, trying to tell people about the new covenant, letting our people know that they Israelites. Do they believe in the Bible? Did you know you're a chosen child of Israel? You know these things and all this stuff that's going on YouTube, making these videos, hoping people will notice, hoping our people will notice and listen to them. Like I said, for me, it ain't about the money. I'm taken care of. I'm fine. I'm surviving, and that's all that matters. But what's important is for me to get the word out there the best that I can. But it's up to you guys to listen. So but it says, verily I say to you, then he shall make him ruler over all his goods. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, he's not coming right now. It says, or he ain't coming no time soon. That's what a lot of people say. All this gonna happen when we dead. No, it's actually gonna happen very soon. It says, and he shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. It says, thus that servant shall come in the day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him in his portion with the hypocrites. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's right, man. It's worse, man. It's gonna be bad, man. Keep trying to tell you. Where is that at? Let me see. All right, and we got this one right here. This one's actually, this one really don't matter no more. I'm not gonna read that one. It's for another time. But yeah, man, I'm gonna just be more straightforward. But this is just how it's gonna be, man. We can get that one. This one is a this one is quite good right here. This is Esdras chapter no second book of Esdras chapter 15, I do believe, verse 1. And it says, "Behold, thou speak in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." It's going to happen. That's what he's saying. It's going to happen. It says, it already is happening. A lot of these prophecies are happening. It says, "Fear not." It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." It says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine." It says, "The sword, the famine, death, and great destruction." It says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, saith Yahweh." It says, "Therefore, saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more, as in touching their wickedness." It says, "Which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." That's the prophets and those of us that are chosen, that are calling Yahweh Shem Shai, calling him and praying. "And therefore, saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led to the flock, as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn," which is America, "and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation." That's the nuclear events. That's all this war that's about to take place. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," and woe mean hell or war. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and with swords in their hands. For there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So you're gonna have people fighting against the law. You're gonna have people realizing that nothing matters anymore, so they fighting and flipping out on each other, and they raiding and they taking everything, they robbing, they killing each other, and they not gonna care about what the law. They not gonna care about the government's got to say. They're not gonna care about any of it because it's not gonna matter. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of the pride of the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising sun, and from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves against one another, and repay the things that they have done to them," which is Israel. He gonna have them fighting each other. It says, "Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, which is now, so I will also do in recompense into their bosom. Thus says Yahweh Bashem Yahushai." And it go down to the oppression, to us being oppressed, to us being redlined, to us getting these crumbs of these crappy jobs, to destroying the neighborhood so bad to the point to where our brothers and sisters Our children is coming out products of the environment, easy to easy and vulnerable to the wickedness of this world, and being cast in slavery systems, from one slavery system to the next. You got the jobs, and then you got the prisons, and just constantly destroying us, constantly pushing us down, constantly keeping their foot on our necks, and they never stop. It says, like as they do yet to unto this day unto my chosen. Yep. And those of us that were chosen were among our people that was suffering like that. It says, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus says Yahweh, my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. It says, the fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. That's that nuclear event. It says, woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, says Yahweh. I will not spare them. Go your way, you children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. Meaning that that's the elect, the chosen. Because he not going to have no mercy on nobody that don't get into the new covenant. He going to destroy all these non-believers, everybody that's against the truth. It says, for Yahweh knoweth them, all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth them unto death and destruction. For now all the plagues have come up on the whole earth, and you shall remain in them. For Yahweh shall not deliver you, because you have sinned against him. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the building of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. They all that which hear them may fear and trouble. And the Carmenians raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the woods, and with great power shall they come and join in battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So he's talking about how all these nations is about to jump America, which is already coming into play right now as we speak. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they turn themselves, conspiring together and great power to persecute them. That's what's happening. And them dragons could go back to the seven-headed dragon and the great whore, Babylon. It says, then these shall be troubled, bled, and kept silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their hosts shall be fear and dread, and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east, and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and full of storm. Boom, go back to that one right there. He cooking, because that's what it's going to look like. And, it says, they shall smite upon one another. It says, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars, meaning that their targets are the children of Israel, because the stars is the Israelites. And blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and a dung of men into the camel's hoof. Right? It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hella bodies everywhere. That's what he's saying. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. Because when the war come and touch America, people gonna start flipping out, because they never thought that it could happen. And then shall there come great storms from the south, and from the north, and another part from the west. And them storms is talking about these warfare. It says, a strong winds shall arise from the east, and shall open it, and the clouds which he raised up in wrath, and the stars stirred to cause fear towards the east and the west shall be destroyed. It says, the great and mighty clouds be puffed up full of wrath, and the star, that they make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein. And they shall pour out over the high and eminent place a horrible star. This is fire and hail, and fiery swords, and many waters. that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the city walls, mountains and hills, and trees of the wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly into Babylon, and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her, the star, and all the wrath shall they pour out upon her. That's the nuclear event. Then shall the dust and the smoke go up unto the heavens, and all they that be about shall bewail her. Everybody gonna flip out trying to escape these bombs. It says, and they that remaineth under her shall do service unto them that have put her in fear. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou stretched out, because thou hast made themselves like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom. It says, they that might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. That's true, because Asia is no different than America. It says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Meaning that all these other nations is going to follow suit to America. When America collapse, all these other nations going to go with them. They're all of them. Third world countries, all of them. They're going to become bums because this was the heart of the trade. It says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. It says, the heat shall arise that sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, right? They're going to go broke. And as one that chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive you. It says, what I with jealousy have so proceed against thee, says Yahweh. It says, if thou hadst not always slain my chosen, that's true, the Israelites, and he talking about America. It says, exalting the stroke of thy hands, and saying over their dead, when thou hast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. It says, the reward of whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore thou shalt receive recompense. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith Yahweh, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. It says, thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. Them bunkers, because they got bunkers in the mountains too, and they got bunkers underground. It says, and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood. It's going to be a lot of cannibalism. And the mountains can represent people too. It says, for a very hunger of bread and thirst of water, thou as unhappy shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. You're not going to stop, man. And in the passage they shall rush on the idol city, and shall destroy some portion of thy land, and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon, and shall return to Babylon that was destroyed. And thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire, and shall consume thee. Thy cities, thy land, and thy mountains, and all the woods, and the fruitful trees shall they be burnt up with fire. Thy children shall they carry away captive, and look, when thou hast what thou hast, they shall spoil it, and mar the beauty of thy face. Right. And with that, I'm going to end this. My medicine is kicking in. I'm going to end this, and this is the things that's going to take place, man. It's already happening now as we speak. So you can't say that you wasn't warned. You can't say that you didn't hear the stories and all the legends and all that. You've heard it. You just didn't do nothing about it. And when that time comes, everybody's gonna remember. They're gonna remember. But it's not gonna be nothing they can do. And with that, call on Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. I'll see you guys on another video.